Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Stephanie and together with my friend Danielle, we clean people's homes for free. In today's video, we are tackling the living room and bathroom of this home. There will be a second video uploaded next week in which we tackle the kitchen and the hallway. The reason we have split this video into two sections is because this clean took several hours, and between us we had about 20 hours of footage, so rather than making one long video, we thought we'd split it into two and make two shorter videos. The other reason for this is because it is now the start of the summer holidays in the UK, and I am actually away next week with my family on holiday, and we didn't want to leave you guys without some content for the week. I'm not going to do very much talking in this video. We are trying to grow the channel based on feedback from our viewers, and one of the feedback that we received was that my voice is quite monotone and not the correct accent. Unfortunately, I can't change my accent. However, I will work on being a little more upbeat in these videos. I am still finding my voice when doing these voiceovers. Other feedback that we received is that people prefer just to listen to the original audio of the video, so I have left that in for the rest of this video. However, just to warn you that the resident did remain in the home with us. I think she was glad of the company as well as the help, and so there is a lot of talking in the video, which once the video is sped up, it does result in a lot of squeaking, so hopefully that isn't off-putting for everybody. Again, we would love any feedback that you can give us. If you would like music in the videos, if you want the videos to be longer or shorter, close-ups, that kind of thing, any feedback is greatly appreciated. As well as releasing the two videos for this home as an extra video, we will release it as a whole, but rather than talking, it will just be music, and then hopefully that can appeal to those that do not like the squeaking and do not like the voiceovers. There are many reasons why a home might get into this condition. For instance, in this home, the resident suffers from depression. She struggles with self-harming. She is also currently grieving for a lost relative. And I do think there is some PTSD there from childhood trauma as well, based on some of the things that she told us. I'm not going to go into very much detail about her situation because honestly, it isn't anybody else's business. I'm just making people aware that there are a lot of reasons why a home might get into this condition, and this channel is a negative free zone, and any judgmental or nasty comments will be deleted. With all that being said, thank you so much for joining us on this journey and supporting our channel. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. As we got to this section of the floor, this was when the resident informed us that they had been self-harming and using a razor, and that the razor had actually been discarded on the floor. So we were trying to be very careful in case we came across that here. And even though before we start these cleans, we do ask if there's been any use of needles and things that we need to be mindful of, we hadn't really considered other sharp objects such as razors. So that is something that we're going to need to be wary of in future, and just add that into our questions before we start the clean so that we can keep ourselves safe. We didn't actually end up coming across the razor, so we do believe that we have swept it up when doing the clean, thankfully, and the resident is seeking help for her self-harming tendencies. In some parts of this video, you will notice that we are wearing masks, and that is because in general the property didn't smell despite the amount of rubbish. However, that was only because I think that the majority of the rubbish was cans and empty packets. However, the further down the piles of rubbish we got, we did start to find rotten food and takeout containers, and the smell was slightly overwhelming, and so it was at that point that we decided to put on masks. However, Danielle's skin did not take kindly to the mask that we bought, and so she only wears the mask for a very short period of time and then wears a different mask. And the cleaner we got the property, the less we felt we needed the masks, especially because after you've been wearing them for a long time, they do start to irritate your face and you get really sweaty and annoyed with it. So that's why sometimes we're wearing a mask and sometimes we aren't. So I have never used like this powder before, and I thought that I was doing it correctly, but clearly I was using too much. So then Danielle was just showing me a little demonstration of how to do it correctly, which I thought was quite funny. Now we're moving on to the bathroom, but don't worry, if you do stay until the end of the video, you will get to see the transformation photos of both the living room and the bathroom at the end of this video. The first thing we do when we go into these properties is have a look at the toilet and, if needed, add acid-based toilet cleaner to the bowl, and that way it has time to sit and work its magic before we then go on to clean the toilet later on, usually several hours later, and that is why it appeared to come off very easily when actually there were quite a lot of stains. You will also probably notice throughout the video that our clothes do change. This is because the videos are not really in chronological order and we did this clean over 2 days. So just to clarify, I, Stephanie, am the one who is wearing the checkered shirt in one day and then wearing this grey shirt the other day, and Danielle is wearing a orange jumper one day and then I think it's either a black or grey top the next day. Here is just an example of us trying to do more close-up shots. I think in this case we weren't entirely successful as the camera does jump around a little bit,
But as I've said previously, this is completely a learning curve for us, so we're trying out different things to see what works. This is near the end of the clean now. I don't think we managed to get any footage of the bathroom floor being cleaned, but that was done. And so enjoy the upcoming before and after photos. And if you do like this kind of content, please do subscribe, especially if you want to see part 2 of this house where we tackle the kitchen and the hallway.